See it now. All right, cool. All right, guys, I'm going to give like a few seconds for everyone to hop on here. So, James, we're good everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, everything's loading up. All right. So, welcome to another episode of the Mirabella Mindset. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are going to talk about discounting your prices, not feeling okay with charging your worth, like letting your clients negotiate with you on how you should charge or giving, like the discounting thing, right? The conversation about charging less and not feeling like you should charge everybody a certain amount or devaluing your service or your product only hurts the client as well as you and your business. And I'm going to tell you why. If you're worth $100 for a haircut and your haircuts are amazing and they're $100 and you start discounting them for people, you're going to do a $40 haircut or the equivalent of a $40 haircut, which isn't your best because subconsciously you know you're not getting paid your true worth. So you won't deliver your true value in that haircut. And what begins to happen is you develop the habits of somebody who cuts hair for $40. And you begin to cut corners, and then you kind of like, you just cut the experience for that person. Now, if somebody wants to come to you and your haircuts are $100, they're coming to you for that reason. If they can't afford it, then they just don't come to you for a haircut. Now, there's certain circumstances where you have clients who might be going through something, and there's situations like that are one-off, excuse me. And if you have a big heart, I'm not saying be a savage, but if you deliver a $100 haircut, if you cut corners, you will not be delivering that $100 haircut anymore. So what begins to happen is your next client who comes in, you have these bad habits that trickle into that person and trickle into that person. And then you begin to resent actually cutting hair. So when someone comes to you and they want to negotiate a price, you let them know, hey, I'm sorry, these are my prices. If you want, I have someone who's also they're amazing. She's like either at the suite down the hall, or it's another stylist in the salon. But you get into the habit of haggling prices, and then it's just this dirty feeling of like, I'm being cheapened for my product. And that doesn't feel good for anybody. And if someone doesn't respect your prices and they want to have that conversation with you, then maybe they're not a good fit for you as a client. Maybe it's time to either let them go or it's time to pass them on to somebody or just don't do their hair. And I was talking about this on my live earlier with Dom. And it's true. I actually had a chance to reflect on, even I used to do this too. I would discount people because I felt bad. And I was like, you know what? They're going through a hard time. But then that person went on vacation the next week with their family. That person showed up with a brand new car. So it's just, they just don't think you're worth the $100 haircut, or they don't think they're worth a $100 haircut, one or the other. But they think they're worth the Louis bag. They think they're worth a new iPhone. They think they're worth a brand new car. They think they're worth that vacation to the Bahamas, but they just don't think your haircut's worth it. That's what that's saying to me. So when somebody wants to try and negotiate pricing with you, you're going to have to learn how to have these hard conversations and stand by your price. Now, let's go back to the other side of it. Are you worth $100 for a haircut? Like, honestly, like if you see the person down the street charging $100, is the value that you're delivering worth $100? And if so, if you truly believe you're worth $100 for that haircut, then you're never, ever going to go back on that. You're going to truly, honestly believe you're worth it and you're going to deliver a $100 haircut. So when somebody comes back to your chair and they were unhappy with a haircut or a color, or whatever it is that you do, and you have to ask yourself, did I deliver my best? Did I give them a $100 haircut? Did I give them the $500 highlight? Like, did I really perform at a certain level? And if you did, then don't worry about it. If you didn't, fix that problem. Fix the situation. A lot of salon owners immediately, when salons start getting slow, summertime, whatever situation may be, they lost a stylist who was a really high producer. Their first thing they like to focus on is raising the prices. And if you're losing clientele, people aren't coming back to your salon, that's the last thing you want to do to make up the difference in income. Because you're going to scare more people away. You're going to cause more people to not appreciate your product. So the first thing you have to do when it comes to pricing is, are you worth the amount you're charging? And if you're not, I don't say lower your prices. I say increase your standards that you're holding yourself to and the level of experience you're delivering and the level of value you're delivering to that client. That's the first thing you have to do. So as owners or as stylists, whatever you want to call yourself, ask yourself, is what I'm charging right now worth it? Do I deliver on that promise? Like, do I give you a guaranteed amazing haircut? Like, because what they're paying for is not to go somewhere else to get that fixed. Like when you pay $500 for a highlight or $5 for a haircut, what you're saying is you're coming to me, I'm going to 100% guarantee and deliver the result so you don't have to go somewhere else to get it fixed. That's it. That's what you're saying. Anybody can cut hair. You're giving them a service, you're giving them an experience, you're giving them the value of never having to go somewhere else to get it fixed. Hands down, that's it. Like, and you think I'm wrong, talk to somebody who values their time more than the haircut. Because if you're a high profile professional and you charge $800 an hour and you're a lawyer, it takes a lot of your time to go get a haircut or color fixed. A corrective color, when someone botches it up, is worth 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours. So when Barbara down the street charges $1,200 for a highlight, she guarantees her work so that you never have to go anywhere else to spend 5 hours in a chair getting it fixed. So a lot of you guys also think there's a combination between the time you spend on somebody and the price you charge on somebody. Nope. No connection between the two. Sorry. In fact, if you could be faster with your service that you're doing, it's worth more money, not less money. So the whole thing about charging by the hour and that whole conversation in our industry, I just don't like it because I'm selling the result. And I spent 27 years crafting my skills to deliver on that result. So that's why I charge you $125 a haircut. That's why I charge you $500 a haircut. And if I do a haircut, like I've discounted before, right? And my staff will tell you I'm the king of doing that sometimes. But I still deliver the amazing haircut because I can do a haircut in literally 10 minutes. So what I do is I sacrifice a little experience by getting like 5 people in that hour, and I have my whole team help me. So there are things that I do so I can make the most amount of money in that day without charging an extraordinary amount of price. Like I was never the most expensive person in my area ever. I was one of the best in my area, and I definitely book the most, like in terms of people I would see in a day. But I knew that my pricing was reflective of the experience because you didn't get 100% of me the whole time, there's no need for me to sit there while you're processing to talk to me. Like I get it. Make sure you have a fun salon. It's a great environment, coffee, water, tea, whatever. So you're not stuck sitting there talking to somebody. And if you love doing that, do that. Like I'm not telling you how to run your business, but for me, I would much rather be value priced, deliver a great product and result, and do multiple people in a day. Because if somebody cancels, well, guess what? I still have more people coming in that day. But when you're the stylist who believes in the experience and I don't double book because it makes me anxious, guess what? When that client cancels that you booked that 4 hours for that highlight, you have an empty day. I still have 7 people I'm going to see today. And if you think raising your prices even more to justify the fact that you could only see 1 client a day is the answer, I'm sorry to tell you, it's not the answer. So your pricing structure and what you value yourself is super important. And I want you guys to understand the whole premise of this particular conversation is you don't lower your prices to accommodate your clients who are trying to negotiate with you. Ever. It's going to make you resent the client, resent this particular business that you're in, and you're not going to deliver the result that you know you're capable of because of the fact that you feel like they're not paying full price, so I'm not going to give them 100% of me. And then what happens is you start building bad habits. How you do anything is how you do everything. And these bad habits will trickle into every other area of your business. So I'm going to open up the floor to some Q&A. Let's see what we got going on when it comes to pricing. There's really a mindset issue when it comes to pricing, and it's going to be either you feel like you're not worth it or your client feels like they're not worth it. That's it. That's the only time something gets discounted amongst us. Like if you don't feel like you're worth a $100 haircut, then why are you charging $100? But if you feel like you're worth it, don't bat an eye at it. Like Louis Vuitton, when you go into like a luxury handbag store to buy a pocketbook or a wallet or whatever the hell you're going to buy from there, like they tell you the price for this wallet and it's $3,000. And then while they tell you they have like one left in stock because it's in such high demand. They try and sell you a $1,200 pair of glasses or a $4,000 gym bag. Like, the prices are out of control. They don't even bat an eye. And so you have a hard time telling someone they need to get a toner for $35. Like, what is that toner going to do for their hair? Like, does it add value to the highlight? Then yes, charge them for it. Like, what's the feeling they have when paying for that? Like, make sure that's tied into the value as well. It's not just a transaction. It's a relationship. It's a feeling. Like, a $100 haircut should be better than a $40 haircut, but sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's the same exact haircut. It's just the place it's taking place in. So the salon has a better ambiance. There's better, like, there's bottles of water. There's like lemon, strawberries in this frigging pitcher, and there's like nice music playing. It smells nice. What's that experience? Because to be honest with you, if you deconstruct a Louis Vuitton bag and you deconstruct another bag that might be $300, not $3,000, they might be almost the same in terms of quality of leather, quality of the buckle, quality of all that stuff. So I want you to take a look at your salon and deconstruct it. Take it apart a little bit. Like, what are they getting for that $100? Is it just an amazing haircut? Then it has to be an amazing haircut. But if you want to, do you want to raise it to $150? Did you do any kind of education? Like, what are you doing to justify the raise to $150? And so a lot of people just want to raise prices because they either lost clients or because they feel like they're worth more. But how do you explain that to your clientele that you're raising your prices? Why? What's that reason? And I want to talk about this one thing for a second, guys, because I brought it up before about when somebody leaves your salon in terms of your lost revenue or you're losing revenue in a salon. You have to ask yourself, is it the product or is it the people? Like, can my staff just not retain because of their personality, or are we putting out a really shitty product? And if you raise your prices and you didn't fix one of those two things, it's never going to end up good for you. It's going to lead to more people leaving your salon. So I want you to think about, or even ask your clients, why did you not come back? Like, have that post-service email that goes out so you can get your pulse on the business of, is it a people problem or is it a service problem or a product problem? And then you have to implement the systems into your salon to improve the product that you're putting out there before you do anything else. And if everything's kosher, right? Everything's really good. Maybe what you need to do before you raise your prices is try and get people to pre-book. So if someone comes to your salon 3 times a year, try and get them to the salon 4 times a year. Pre-booking does that for you. One extra visit across all your clients, across all your stylists that do those clients is a significant increase in your business. Then, if you want to raise prices, you could raise prices. If you have that in order, if you got people pre-booking, you got all the ins and outs of your business dialed in, then when you raise your prices, guess what happens? It's like tenfold, because now you're getting 4 visits per year instead of 3 times, 500 clients. That's 500 extra visits a year. That if you raise your average ticket price an extra 20%, that's 20% more across 500 clients. It increases your business through the roof. But if your product you're delivering is faulty, like you don't cut hair well, don't color hair well, you have to fix that first. If you can't retain clients, you have to fix that first, because good marketing makes a bad product fail faster. And I've talked to a lot of salon owners who come to me for help, and they're like, well, we need to make more. We're not profitable. Well, you got into a situation where you're paying so much for rent now, and you have to do X amount of dollars just to even break even. So that's a whole different conversation. But you're doing this marketing campaign, and you're seeing 50 new clients a month. How come they're not coming back? How come they're not booking again? Like, what's going on there? Like, why is your retention rate only 30%? And so if you're running ads to get new clients and you're spending, $40 to get that client in the door, and after you give your commission and everything else, your profit's only $55, you're not going to be sustainable. Like, that $10 is not going to be enough to run your business because your rent is so high. So you have to figure out, what is your cost per acquisition of a customer? And then how much is your rent? Like, there's a lot that goes into your pricing as well. So if you don't have any of these numbers and you're raising your prices or coming up with some kind of pricing scheme for your salon, you're just kind of throwing like darts with no target at the wall. You need to have a target. You need to figure out how much is your rent. All right, how many chairs do you have? Then how much is your break-even point? How much money do you want to make? How many clients do you need to see? So this is a very simple equation for ChatGPT. I want you guys to figure out, well, not to figure out, take your lease, run it to ChatGPT, figure out like what your 3% increase is so you can really do the math on your ads for a long period of time. What is your rent? How many chairs do you have? How much do you need to make out of each chair per day in order to make X amount of dollars per year? So I want you to take yourself out of the equation as an owner, because the problem a lot of owners have when they're figuring out pricing or they're figuring out the success of their salon is they keep themselves in the equation. And if you don't show up to work, then you don't make money. That's not the point of having a business. You just own a job at that point. So I want you to take your income out of it and see what the salon does without you. That's how you build something to sell. So that's how you get your pricing. You figure out, without you in the equation, what do you need to charge? Like, what does each chair need to make per day in order to make X amount of dollars based on your rent? And you're going to put your utilities in there. You're going to put your front desk. You're going to put all the expenses, your fixed expenses in there. Because your variable ones, like your commission rate, that we're going to talk about that in a second. But that's how you figure out a standard for your pricing. And then from there, do you have the skills to meet that level of pricing you need to charge in order to make that salon successful? And if you don't, then don't get that location, because you're going to buy this great location in the middle of like a nice busy area of town. And if your product sucks, you're just going to have a high rent with no one coming in, because your reputation is going to be ruined because you ruined everyone's hair. So everything comes back to two things. It's the product and the price first. If you're thinking of opening a salon and you just came out of school, or you're thinking of going to a suite, do not do that. You have no experience yet. You have no idea how to fix something if you mess it up. Put some time in. Be an apprentice. Go work somewhere. Work in a commission salon. Like, learn how to do things. Have a mentor. So that's the technical side of things. Now, if you are seasoned and you are a stylist and you've been making good money behind the chair and you're in a commission salon, it's a whole different ballgame when you go to a excuse me. It's a whole different ballgame when you go to a new salon or you go to your own salon. Because guess what? You have rent, you have color you're paying for, you got the front desk, you have utilities, you got an air conditioner, you got taxes, you have so much you're paying for. So now that, 60% you were keeping in the salon, and you thought you were going to make 100% when you opened your own place, you're not. So then what do again? You get stressed out, you're overwhelmed, you're wearing all the hats, you raise your prices to make up for it. Now your clients are unhappy, and now your clients don't come back, and you have a terrible business structure and a terrible business in itself, and it's not going to grow. So you have to become a student of business. You have to learn the language, and you have to learn all the fundamentals of how to figure out how you're going to price. This way you can actually make money from this as a business, because a business you can sell is a great business to work at and own. So that is my whole pricing structure. I will jump into the Q&A right now, guys.
Mark Stoutzer just asked, do you run these specials from time to time?
I don't run specials from time to time because people who want to come just for specials either won't come back or only look for specials. I do run them on my online business. If I want to do something like a special, I give it away for free. Like, I just literally will give a conditioning treatment away for free for leaving me a review. I would much rather have a free thing than a discounted thing. That's my mindset. So never steered me wrong yet. When it comes to raising prices too, guys, I do have a discounted model. And this is how I raise my prices significantly throughout the years. And people love it. People hate it. I don't give a shit. Like, you may not like my pricing structure, but I guarantee you I booked more than you in my career. I mean, 100% I guarantee that. To anyone who's a coach in the industry telling me that I'm wrong with this. I would raise my prices a percentage amount. So I would raise it 20, 30%. My OG clients, okay, this is like to a certain extent. At the end of the day, after you get to a certain level, then everyone just gets pushed into like the one pricing structure. But this is while you're raising your price structure to get to where you should be if you were too inexpensive for too many years and you're scared of raising your prices. I would raise 20, 30%. Any new client that comes in is paying my new pricing. My OG clients, I prep them. hey, Barbara, I'm raising my prices starting November, just to let you know. But because you're so loyal, I'm going to give you our VIP pricing. You're going to get 10% off, whatever the raise is going to be. And they feel like, oh, cool. Like I'm getting 10% off for being loyal. And that's my loyalty program. That's like my OG. And that's for people who've been with you for the years. Like they were with you from the beginning while you were learning. I have had clients for 20, 25 years that I've been doing their hair. I think 27 years. Kathleen, I went to second grade with her. She's still my client today. I don't do hair anymore, but I still might pop in there and do her hair. So it's so important that you have that structure down to get yourself built up to where you need to be price-wise. Now, once you get fully booked and you kind of hit like a ceiling for your pricing, you're charging what you're worth, then you start trickling up your VIP clients. But the great thing about that is you can keep raising your prices all the time and then keep grandfathering that down because you're at a price point now where you're charging your worth, whether it's 20% high or with that 10% off. That's never steered me wrong, and I've always been able to increase my prices and build a busy book. I was probably one of the busier stylists in the last couple salons I was working in. I could 100% guarantee you I can go to anywhere in the US, because I speak the language and know the currency, and be booked within 6 months with that pricing structure. I could probably start at a way inexpensive price, like crush the market, right? By delivering an amazing product at an amazing price with amazing convenience and amazing customer service, the 4 aspects of business. And then with that particular technique, completely build back up to $500 for a full highlight. I'm talking Kentucky, Alabama, Oklahoma, Beverly Hills, New York. I don't give a shit where you put me. I will be able to build up with that pricing structure. So, all right, Q&A. Isn't that giving a discount? It is giving a discount, but it's because they're already a loyal client and they value my service already, and they put the time in with me. That's why I give them that VIP little break when I raise my prices. At the end of the day, it's about volume and margin. And so if somebody asks me, well, Barbara gets 10% off. Why does she get that? Oh, Barbara's part of our VIP program, our loyalty program. You also can be enrolled in that, or you also are part of that. And after 3 years, you get put into the VIP program, or you get access to that benefit as well. And so you add some like longevity to it, because, you know, if they're a client for a long time, you should have some kind of point system or some kind of VIP system or reward system implemented in your salon. I mean, Sephora does it, Ulta does it. I think every single brand out there has some kind of rewards program. Why not you? Right? Why not give that loyalty kickback to people? It's just good business. So it's not really a discounted rate. It's just a rewards program. And like I use Smile on Shopify. There's like Line Rewards. There's a bunch of different programs out there. The softwares we have in salons should have something built in. A lot of them don't, and I don't know why. But if you have a rewards program, that's kind of like your VIP legacy pricing kind of thing. And it makes it very easy to communicate how that works. But that's how I built it up. I'm not telling you things that I just am imagining. I'm telling you things I actually did. So I went from doing $400 a week, and within 6 months I was doing $4,000. By the end of that year, I was doing $5,000 to $6,000 a week consistently, every single week behind the chair, with not expensive prices either. All right, James, any questions on Facebook?
Nope.
All right. When are you going to cut your hair? I'm not going to cut my hair. I'm going to keep growing my hair. So I'm probably going to grow it out again and try and donate it. I don't know if I can actually do that, because as you can see right now, it's an afro. But that's what I'm doing with my hair right now.
Bring back the Jerry curls.
It's coming back. Here's a good question. How do you get one of your stylists to raise their prices because they have a negative mindset around money, and they have a negative mindset around their pricing? I deal with this all the time. My stylists are afraid to charge their worth. You have to make them believe what they're worth, right? You have to make them feel competent to charge those prices. Competence builds confidence. And if they did a small increase in the past, did they lose anybody? You're going to get people who are going to bark back and be like, oh, you're raising prices again. Everything's expensive. Yeah, Barbara, it is. So one of the quick things I do in order to circumvent that is I switch to parts and labor. So I was able to take the color cost out of my pricing and put that onto the client, and then the salon recoups that back. So it gives the salon a raise right away. Then when no one has a problem with it, then you could raise the stylist pricing. But when you talk to your stylist and they have a problem with raising their prices, you have to understand why. What is their belief around raising their prices? Do they feel like their clients won't pay? Do they feel like they're not worth it? So you have to have that conversation with them. If they feel like they're not worth it, then that's something you need to work on them with. And maybe it's more education. Maybe it's actually letting them see what is out there and making them truly believe that they are worth it, because you want them to charge with confidence. Nobody, when they go to the register, if they act scared, is going to have the client feel confident in paying that price. But if you confidently say, how much is hair today? All right, Barbara's highlights are going to be $450 today, and her haircut's $85 or $125. Barbara, I love you. Here's the products. Here's a shampoo that I used for you today. Here's the hairspray we used. And then they ring it out and they pay everything and they leave. When you do things with confidence, people don't bat an eye. It's when you're inexperienced in your delivery on what you're charging because you don't believe you're worth it. That's when the clients feel like, oh, they're not confident. There's an energy here. Like, I'm not sure if you guys believe in the law of attraction, all the energies that happen. But when you go up there, you're vibrating at a certain frequency. If you have fear or you're scared, that is a negative vibration. Your clients will feel that. And even if they love you, they're going to feel weird about the transaction. So I want you guys to be confident in what you're charging. Then what I do for my stylist is this. I explain this methodology. I explained that on my live with Dom a little while ago. If you have a hard time justifying a price, but you do know you're worth it, right? But you're scared, and you have a negative relationship with money, I want you to tie money to love. And here's what I mean by that. You're giving them their hair, right? You're giving them their hair or their color or the look that they love, that they're going to now go on a date with their husband for date night. They're going to actually get back in the dating scene if they went through a divorce. They're actually going to be able to go apply for that job now because now they love their hair and they have the confidence. That's worth something. What's that love worth? Okay, they love themselves again. They can now, have that loving relationship again because they truly love themselves. Now, when they give you money, it's just a love exchange. They're giving you something in return. Think of like love tokens that now you can go buy something you love that gives you that feeling. You can go spend that money on your child that you love. Has nothing to do with currency. We've been so inundated with only the rich get rich. Money's evil. Money's the root of all evil. Money is the root of all evil for people who are evil. Money is the root of all good for people who are good. If you're a good person, you're going to do good things with money. If you're a bad person, you're going to do bad things with money. So if you're a good person, you should have more money than the bad person because you're going to do more good with it. So change your mindset, change your stylist mindset around money, and really, truly, get into their head and figure out why they have a negative feeling around money. Like, what is the chapter of their life that was written to be so negative around money? Was it their parents? Was it something that happened to them? Was it a person they knew who was a douchebag with money? You have to fix that relationship and that idea and that connection to money being bad. And the best way to do it is just make it a love transfer. It's always worked for me. So if you're struggling with that, whoever asked that question, I forget who it was, have them switch it to a transfer of love rather than a transfer of currency. And that's the easiest way to do it.
Question in the chat.
Yeah.
HBT Beauty Vibe. Where are you working? In which state?
So I have 3 locations in New Jersey, 1 affiliate location in New Jersey, and 1 location in Florida. I don't do hair anymore. I do it for friends and family. I'm obviously going to do my daughter's hair and my son's hair and my wife's hair and my sister-in-law if she's watching. Well, my mom's hair too. But in terms of clients, it's I don't find value. I don't want to do hair anymore because I do the whole coaching business now. So if you're struggling with building a salon or a business or building your suite, DM me the word grow and we'll unpack how you can grow your salon. If you like everything you're hearing, how to change your whole entire business and mindset trajectory to be successful behind the chair or in the salon. So I get enjoyment out of that. I still love doing hair. It's just the impact I can have on the industry, I feel is better spent doing this than me doing $55 blowouts or $300 highlights. I'd rather fix everybody else's mindset and business so they can deliver great results for the rest of the world. And that's why I stopped doing hair. All right. Another comment. Nick, how did you become so good looking? Why How are you 45 and you look like you're 25? I don't know. I use a good skincare routine at night, and I do need to color my beard. So, good question. All right, more pricing question, guys. Anything about pricing? One of my friends told me to do a Groupon. What do you think of that? All right, this goes back to the discount question. Groupon has a certain type of client that shops for discounts. If you want to build a clientele who's always looking for a discount, then go all in on Groupon. Have a blast. Have fun dealing with that. Here's the thing you got to worry about. You're paying a percentage to Groupon. You're giving a discount of your service. At the end of the day, when you're done charging the person, there's really not much left. Groupon attracts a certain type of client. I don't think it's good for our business. If it worked for you in the past and you enjoy working hard for no money, then go do it. I believe in word of mouth. I believe in social media. I believe in adding value. If you want to attract more clients, I say go the other way. I say charge $1,000 a haircut. I say charge an extraordinary amount. Charge so much money that you get a gasp from that person. They're like, $1,000, $2,500, right? Because there is somebody who will pay that. And guess what? If you're charging $2,000 a haircut and you do 3 haircuts a week, you're making $6,000 a week. That's crazy. But guess what? Someone will pay it. James, on the computer here. Actually, I'm going to look it up right now. Ted Gibson. Those of you guys who know Ted Gibson is a hair. I want to see what he charges for a haircut. Let's see here. Okay, Ted Gibson. The most expensive haircut cost was $16,000 by Stuart Phillips in 2007. So if your clients are bitching about a $100 haircut, tell them to check out Stuart Phillips. How much does Ted Gibson charge? How can I get this in here? James, help me look this up.
I'm on his website.
It's going to be on here. All right, so Ted Gibson, his current haircut price is $1,650. So it's $1,600. And is he booked every 30 minutes on hair color? Okay, cool. So he became known for his $950 haircut back in 2012. Okay, on 2012 he moved it to $1,200, and now his current rate is $1,650.
No, I think it's $2,400.
All right, so it's $2,400. He doubled that since then. Do you guys understand? You're going crazy over a $5 increase of a haircut. What is $5 going to do? $5 is going to make you no more money, cause you to have the conversation of raising your prices, and then it's going to cause your clients to bitch at you, and you make no extra money. If you raise your prices $50, your clients are still going to bitch at you. They're still going to be mad at you raise your prices, but it's significant. So if they leave you, they leave you. But the clients who stay and the new clients who are coming, it's substantial. And I'm not saying raise your prices $50. I'm just saying I'm using it as an example. Because this guy right here charges $2,400 now, James? $24 haircut. $2,400 haircut. And you're worried about a $5 increase? Are you not worth it? I guarantee you he gives a great haircut. So you can't be a shitty hairstylist and charge that much money. So rearrange your concept around money. See what you're like, really see what you're worth. Like, get a feel for it. Like, do you really believe that you are the best in your area? If you don't believe you're the best in your area, what you do, you got to go back and become the best in your area. That's how you can charge what you want. Like, I think I'm the best in my area. I can charge what I want. I truly feel I'm the best coach for salon owners and suite owners and independent stylists that's out there. Hands down. I just think I'm the best. So that's why I have the program. If I didn't think I was the best, I would have to work on becoming the best. Do you guys realize I worked since 2017, I wrote in my phone in my goals. It was Thanksgiving Eve, 2017, my first run at quitting drinking. I wrote in here, I'm going to actually read it to you guys right now. I'm going to look it up. It's called Thanksgiving Eve, I think, too. Thanksgiving. Let's see here. All right, thoughts on Thanksgiving. I always did a lot of meditation. So my thoughts on Thanksgiving Eve was I'm going to keep developing the brand for Brick and Mirror. That was my old salon. At the same time as building my brand, I'm going to build my own personal brand with one blog a week and one motivational video a week. This is 2017. Until I gain enough momentum and have the ability to add content to the site nickmirabella.com. While Brick and Mirror Beauty builds up, I can offset some of the workload to the girls, and I created this whole entire thing about these two brands. Now I own the Warehouse Salon. That's my brand. Me and my partner, we split up who owned Brick and Mirror. And I literally had this in my goals in 2017, and I'm living it right now. Okay, so write it down and then take massive action to learn it. So it took me 7 years to build the skills, to have the courage and confidence to go post every day talking about this stuff. So for those 7 years, I worked 7 days a week. I worked every day. I digested every single bit of information about mindset, leadership, skills, business acumen. I hired coaches. I spent like $100,000 last year on coaches to become a better coach, to see which system I liked better, see which one really worked for me and aligned with how I wanted to build somebody up. So now I can charge what I want to charge. If you guys think you're just going to raise your prices and have people pay it with no reason why, you're wrong. So you need to have the skills and actually to raise the prices. That's step one. Step two is you need the confidence. And with confidence, knowing that you have the skills, you have the confidence now to charge what you want. So I'm going to go back to Q&A for a little bit more. Let's see what we got here. Is Dyson a good professional hair brand? I use it in salon because I think not. Dyson's a great vacuum. Dyson is not a good blow dryer. And I'll tell you why. That little filter on the bottom is a pain in the ass and always clogs. I had a Dyson. The best blow dryer on the market today for professional hairstylists, I feel, is Parlux. Parlux is the best blow dryer on the market. But there you go. That's branding. That's Dyson. Dyson could charge what they want because they have the brand. They think it's the best blow dryer. They make you think it's the best blow dryer. It's a good blow dryer. It's not the best for hairstylists. So they make a great vacuum. Like once you do something great, you could charge. If you give the best haircut in the world, like make the best vacuum in the world, then you could charge even more for your color. So pricing's pricing. $2,400 for a haircut. Luana, what's going on? Brick and Mirror, remember the days? Yeah, I still have her videos. I got to post it. I use the best tools, also Hanzo and Dyson. I'm going to let you in a little secret about Hanzo. Hanzo is amazing at branding. Hanzo has a great payment structure for their scissors and their shears. Hanzo may not be the best hair cutting shear out there, just like Dyson. So they do a great job at charging you. Like their salespeople convince you it's the best. When I actually know that there's better steel out there than their shears. And when they do a class in my salon, I almost get tricked into buying their I have a pair of shears. They're like $1,500. I have a pair. I have 4 of their scissors. Like I use them. They're good. They're not the best. But they're so convincing that they are the best that you pay whatever for them. And they're good enough for me not to be pissed that I paid that much. So if you're charging a lot for something, be good enough that somebody doesn't get pissed that you charge that much. So, and they also deliver on their education too. Hanzo is a great business structure. If you guys want to really figure out a subscription-based model for something in the beauty industry, take a look at Hanzo and how they created that whole entire business model. It's genius. Lou, I'm going to post all of them. Even their vacuum is great. Yeah. All right, guys. So that is our live for today. Thanks for tuning in. You guys are amazing. I will see you tomorrow's Friday, James. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe. If you don't follow me on YouTube or subscribe yet, go to my stories. I put a link to the podcast I did yesterday with Stu. It was fire. It was awesome. It was amazing. Go click subscribe. Watch that podcast. We're going to be live on Spotify. What? Big thumbs up. We're going to be live on Spotify. We're going to be live on Apple, whatever other platforms out there, on Kajabi, Google, every podcast platform. This will be an audio version on. And obviously, I'm going to have guests on all the time. If you guys want to be a guest on this podcast, just DM me and let me know. I'd love to have everybody on. If you can add value to the community of our industry, then please come on. And if you are watching on Instagram and you want to build a salon, and you want to build a business that you actually grow to love, not grow to hate, DM me the word grow, and we'll get the conversation started. All right, guys. See you later.